We are in a transition from single-species management of natural resources to more inclusive management strategies incorporating entire ecosystems. We are learning that the health of each of the parts determines the health of the whole landscape, but true ecosystem management is not yet universally practiced. There are still interest groups aggressively agitating for a return to single-species management. That's where strong, visionary conservation organizations come in. The Hells Canyon Preservation Council was formed in 1965 to stop the construction of more dams on the wild Snake River. The Preservation Council succeeded. The last 2 dams were never built, but challenge after challenge followed.
Well, the Hells Canyon Preservation Council has been huge and indispensable. Their role when we were fighting to stop the dams was huge and indispensable. They furnished so much of the grassroots power and fact-checking and finding and passion behind the whole cause, without which you can't win any conservation battles anyhow.
I'm glad that there's something remaining and we haven't dammed up the entire river. There have been plans for dams the whole way down, and if that was the way it was today, things would be totally different. My life would be different, and I think that would be too bad.
And so that would make me cry. The worst thing, just not have this, because it's, people ask me where you grew up at. It's like, well, what month are you talking about? Because from, May to August, this is my home.
Today, the Hells Canyon Preservation Council focuses on biodiversity. Grasslands, wolves, forests, rivers, salmon. The Preservation Council urges protecting what's still wild and restoring what's been damaged.
If it wasn't for Hells Canyon Preservation Council's day in and day out attention to the bad timber sales and the bad management of the river and the problem with the grazing and the messing up of things and the gradual trashing up of the wilderness, and the area would be a lot worse off than it is right now. Margaret Mead, the famous anthropologist, once said, don't worry if there's only 4 or 5 people out there to change the world. That's all that ever has changed the world. And that's been my experience over and over again. Don't ever think you can't do it. Don't ever think you can't win. Don't ever worry just because the other side seems to have all the money and all the power. They don't. You have power too. And that's the whole history of American conservation. That's the whole history of all these places, is small bands of people loving a place, determined to do something about it, not listening to everybody who says they can't do it, and going on and doing it anyhow.
Oh yeah, nice fish. Oh man, beautiful fish.
Well, I think my generation is just barely beginning to kind of appreciate it, because we grew up here, and so we did naturally take it for granted. We didn't, we went with our parents to the mountains or to the rivers.
Probably, what do you think, a 50-year-old fish, probably?
Really?
Something like that? Yeah.
And, my peers are, some of my best friends are, cattle rancher daughters, and one of my best guy friends, his dad logs, and so it's like I'm going to be looking those people in the face and telling them, we need to save Hells Canyon and places like that. If it's up to us to make the difference. We can't expect our elders in the community or in the world actually to sit there and do it for us. We have to do it ourselves.
The Hells Canyon Wallowa ecosystem must remain a strong linchpin connecting habitats, wildlife, and people.
Many of us grow up exploring wildlands, but I worry sometimes that we take them for granted. Martin and I were both raised to believe we have an obligation to leave this world better off than we found it. Now is the time to make protection and restoration of remaining wildlands a reality.